So I literally always get this question. It's always people asking me, how do I get consistent leads? So for reference, guys, some people know this. If you watch my Instagram stories, if you're in the GGC, you already know this. But I grew my company last week by 2,200 in new monthly revenue within 1 week. So that means, yes, by 25 grand a year, I grew it in 1 week. So pretty solid, bro, if you ask me. So the difference between what I do and what a lot of people do is I put a heavy emphasis on marketing, right? A lot of people what they do with marketing, and this is it's just an industry. I would say this is like the home services biggest industry flaw. People are so reserved and so old school that what they do is this: they'll start a company, they'll save up a bunch of money, and when they want to get into the next route, they say, okay, I need 30 grand for marketing, and then they say, I'm dumping 30 grand into marketing. That's not how marketing works. Marketing, especially in something like this, is something that you're going to do consistent. Everything is just building up. If you're even thinking in terms of 1 year, like how much did you make, how much, if I asked you how much your revenue is and you're telling me your yearly revenue, you already think about it wrong. You should do everything based off the month. Why? Because that is when the budget's set up. Every budget is set up on a monthly basis. If you're not marketing every single month, why would you expect to get the same results as me? The reason I get the results that I'd get is because I consistently market literally year round. Of course, are there times where I may tune it down? Is there times when I'm not pushing as hard? Yes, but this is what I call unlocked and locked marketing. So let me just give you guys like an example of like how you would get a snowball going in marketing if you were just, and when I say just getting started, if you're not closing at least 5 customers a month, you're just getting started. I could give a rat's ass how big you are. If you're 20 years in the game and your business is doing like $1 million a year in revenue, that's not good. That's really not good. You wasted a lot of time and it's time to speed everything up. So when it comes to marketing, you need to make sure you have consistency. You need to make sure you actually have the branding down packed. And then when you match both of those, that's where the psychological effects start to hit. So let me break it down. Let's go into, because technically before you market, the branding is what matters, right? And when I say branding, I'm not talking about like how most people talk about branding. Like, oh, just get a logo and make sure your logo's on everything. That's not how, like, people don't go deep into branding in our industry. And that's why, I mean, 99% of people are solo operators or owner operators. Even if you have 2 trucks, are you working every day? Because if you are, you're an owner operator and that's not a scalable business, right? So if you're trying to build a scalable business, you need a brand, right? When I build grow, what's my objective? Is it just to have a clean logo on my truck? No, I'm going for a very specific thought, and this is the psychological part. I'm going for the customer's thought. So when I go like this and I build my brand, I want customers to think we're a franchise. I want them to think we're a massive company. We are not a local company. And the reason for that is because I want to be treated with an air of respect. I want to be treated like the professionals. I don't want to have to deal with customers and their little problems. And hey, I was wondering if you can mow my yard a little bit early because I have a birthday party. I don't want to have to deal with that. I want them to not even think that's an option to ask, right? That's just the business I want to build. Maybe you don't. And maybe you want customers hitting you up 24/7 for little nitty gritty things. Me, I want people to treat the lawn maintenance at Grow as a subscription. And that's how I set everything up. So when I do branding, I look like a massive company. I look like a company that has multiple locations. And I get the question, you'll know if you have it done right because I get questioned all the time. No one thinks I'm the owner because number one, I'm young. They always think I'm just a sales guy, or they also think this is a franchise. So that's how you know I'm doing something right when it comes to the branding part. So you need to brand your business to seem like the company you want to be, not like what you are, but where you're trying to go. Always do the things that look or get you to the end goal. So the other thing is consistency. And this is something people legit do not do in marketing. They're just not consistent. So they do marketing in like periods. And this is, I don't know, maybe this is just that, like, I've never heard someone say this in the industry, which is crazy. People say, oh, what's the best time to do marketing? Oh, spring rush. Do your spring rush marketing so then you can get your client list. Forget about spring rush marketing. I know you guys can say, what? Wait, jeez, what the hell? This man's talking bullshit. Okay, market year round. Why would you only do spring rush marketing when everyone's marketing? I market in the dead of winter. Let me explain. So, if I'm the only person marketing in dead of winter and everyone else is only marketing during spring rush when everything's growing, what company is the customer going to know? They're only going to know my company because they've been seeing me consistently. They only see your company pop up when it's spring rush. That's the only time they physically start to see your stuff around. They see me year round. So when spring rush does come along, guess what? The only company they recognize when they search up on Google, the only company that they recognize when they get the door hanger or when they see a yard sign is Grow. Because we're consistent. It's about consistency. How many times have they seen this brand? If a customer sees the brand every single day for a year straight, trust me, they know who you are. And the more people you can get to just know who you are, the more guaranteed you're going to become up, right? Because if everyone already knows who you are, every time anyone does want to switch providers, or if someone just moves into the area and asks a question, you're the only company that people physically actually just know. Like they just know the company. I'll be honest. In my area, there's not a lot of residential companies who do enough branding work and consistent marketing that you would know who they are. Like we're pretty much the only people who are consistent. And that's why we're cooking literally every single person in my market. Is because we're consistent, we have a brand, and we look professional. We have an air of respect around our company, and then at the same time, we're the only company that's recognizable. So if you start to, let me give you actionable steps. If you start to, let's do something very chill. If you start to pass out 250 door hangers a week, 25 yard signs a week, and run your Google ads very small because you just want it to rank high so people physically see the brand. But if you just run like $200 a month of Google ads and start getting Google reviews, when I say start getting Google reviews, get more Google reviews than every other competitor in the area, you will start to get crazy amount of leads this exact same way as me. It's not rocket science. It's just a little bit of effort. That's pretty much it.